Hi, this is a demo for the new Iron Ether Xerograph pedal. This is a foot sweepable resonant low pass filter, similar to the Moog. A lot of bassists like to use the Moog low pass filter, but it does have some issues in that it's very large, it's expensive, it's got a bad bypass, and it can get hissy. The Xerograph is a great alternative. It's very small, as you can see. It runs on 9-volt power. True bypass, sounds clean perfectly in the bypass mode. Let me go over some of the knobs and switches here. Mine is customized a bit. It's got a envelope filter in it, so it has an envelope filter sensitivity knob here and a fast and slow switch for the envelope up top. The rest of it's standard. 2 or 4 pole. This switches the way the peaks hit. 4 pole is more resonant. It gives you the deeper dubby type resonant sweeps, and 2 pole is a little bit brighter and cleaner and more subtle. Frequency, when you have an expression pedal plugged into it, this sets the lowest parameter of the heel position of your expression pedal, and when there's no expression pedal plugged in, it measures the cutoff frequency for the low pass filter. Pardon me. Volume knob, obviously, this comes in handy when you're using the 4-pole settings or when you have the resonance up high, because it can get very spiky as it's such a resonant filter, so you can keep those settings while dialing back the volume. The resonance knob, it emphasizes the frequencies of the cutoff point. As you turn it more and more clockwise, it can actually start to self-oscillate, and you get some very sharp, peaky sounds up there. As this is such a resonant filter, be a little careful, obviously, when you're diming the resonance or you're dropping the frequency all the way, because you can get some very deep sub-bass sounds, and you can get some very high speaker screeching tones out of it, so beware of that. Alright, let me go over some tones here. This is my clean tone. I'm using an active Elrick 6-string bass. I'm using a switching system at my feet, by the way, which is why the Xerograph is still on. Here is one of the sounds of the filter. I'm going to try to do most settings using first the Xerograph, then a Xerograph with an octaver before it, the Boss OC2, and then a setting with with an MXR Blowtorch fuzz going into it, which is the synthy fuzz, and finally with the OC2 and the Blowtorch going into it. So I'm going to try to keep it on each setting and go through each one, as most people use low pass filter in conjunction with octavers and fuzz for synthy sort of sounds. Here it is with the OC2. Alright, here it is with the Blowtorch. Alright, and here's with the OC2 and the Blowtorch. Okay. Try a couple different settings here. Actually, we'll keep that up here. We're going to go for an envelope filter type of sound here. Here it is with the OC2. Here it is with the MXR Blowtorch. Here it is with the OC2 and the blowtorch. Alright, I'm going to do a setting where the pedal is beginning to self-oscillate a little bit. You need to be careful in these settings because it can spike very quickly, such as that. Raising the frequency helps a little bit, lowering the volume. There we go. Obviously these are sounds you're not really going to use very much, but they are fun sounding. Here's this silly sound with a octaver. We'll skip the fuzz and just do the octaver fuzz, because you can't really hear them much now anyway. Alright, let's take it out of this.